Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to talk about the single most important factor in why people succeed or fail long term when it comes to weight loss. It's everything, right? So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to work backwards. We're going to work backwards to the most important step. And once you figure this part out, everything else falls into place, all right? So the way it typically goes is someone says, I want to lose weight, I need to lose weight. Maybe their doctor said they have to lose weight. And the first question I always get is like, well, how do I lose weight? So people jump right to the how, and there's a gazillion hows out there, right? Here's something like, say you want to lose weight, you go have surgery. Can go get a gastric bypass or lap band surgery, right? But the thing with that is a lot of people get the surgery, drop a bunch of weight, they don't do the most important step back here, so all that weight comes back. A lot of people reach for diet pills, which never last long term. There's a ton of starvation diets out there called, long-term fasting, or a lot of different names for basically you just starve yourself, which never works long-term. A million different ways to count. You can count macros, count calories, count points, count all this. Usually those don't work long-term because we're missing this step, the most important step. Then there's a million different food eating plans from one extreme to the next. You got vegan all the way to carnivore and everything in between. And for some people, any of these would work. For other people, none of them will work, all because they don't do this step. Okay? And then there's the one that I preach, the one that I practice, and that is just to consistently choose healthy foods and exercise on a regular basis. And I'm able to do this because, again, which I'm going to get to. Now, in order to lose weight, why do you want to do it, right? It's what's the reason people want to lose weight? So for me, I wish the answer was health, right? But it's usually not true. Most people, and it's just unfortunate, it's just the way it is. I have to market this way, I have to present it this way. Most people don't think about health as a reason to lose weight until they lose it. But for most people, it's why do we want to lose weight? What's the whole purpose? What's the why behind losing weight? Health's important to me. People want to look better, right? If you lose weight, you look better. You have more energy when you lose weight. You have more confidence. I think that comes with looking better. So when you look better, you have more confidence, right? You're wearing that cute dress, you rock into the room, and everyone's you just feel confident. You feel better after you lose weight. It's really easy experiment. Put on a 50-pound backpack, go for a walk, it's draining. Imagine carrying it around 24/7. You lose weight, you just feel better. These are the reasons people lose weight, but still, it's not the most important step. But I'm gonna go over more reasons. One thing that's huge with people I work with is so many people, when they start following my plan and losing weight, they think better. They always explain as their brain fog goes away and they just think better, right? Another reason, that a big one for me for weight loss, is I get to experience more. So when I'm fit and healthy, I can do more stuff. I can hike up bluffs, no problem. I can do mountain things. I can just do really cool stuff, and I can do more cool stuff with my kids. Because if I'm more physically able to do cool things, they get to do more cool things, and then their lives are better. So that's very motivating for me. And for me, one of the reasons why I like to keep my weight down is because it just makes me a better dad. Back to the experiences part, right? So I'm never in a point where I don't feel good and I'm just laying around tired because I don't take care of myself. I always want to have energy for my kids, right? So one thing, so we want to lose weight. This is why we want to lose weight, right? But then we got to back up. Where do our whys come from, right? It's what do we have to look at? And it comes back to this. And I learned this from one of my mentors a long time ago, and it just changed everything for me. Once I really understood me and I lived in line with me, it's so awesome, right? And this comes back to, we call it values. Everyone has a different set of values, and values change over time, okay? For example, for me, I don't know why or where it came from, but I've always just really valued health and fitness. I love it. I absolutely love it. I always have. So it's just always been easy for me to wake up and read about health, to study health, to work out, to eat good, because it's high on my values. And sometimes people ask me, I go, well, how do you stay so motivated? It doesn't take any motivation for me to go do things health-wise because I enjoy it. You don't need motivation to go do things that you enjoy. Another one of, and just to talk about me for a second, like my values for a second, and this changes over time. So health is very important to me, but then my family, right? So my kids weren't of value at all until I had them. And then once they came, my values changed. And now it's like, man, my kids are so damn important to me that I know if I am a healthy body weight and I'm healthy, it makes me better at being a dad, and it makes my kids' lives better. You see that, how I attached these choices to making what I value, what I just truly internally value better? Like, I don't need to be motivated to wake up and play with my kids. I don't need someone to motivate me to get out of bed to take my kids to a park, because it's very high in my values, right? It's just, we have to really just understand and accept our values. Now, some people, their values are different. Some people, it's religion. There are people in this world that will literally go and blow themselves up in the name of religion. Like, their entire lives revolve around their religion. So unless they can somehow attach eating good food and being healthy, which benefit their religion, it's going to take some serious motivation for them to do it. Does that make sense? Or I know people who are, bass fishing. They will spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on bass boats and lures and stuff, drive halfway across the country to catch bass. It's like something they value drastically. For me, it would take some serious motivation to get me to drive a couple states to go catch a fish. It's probably not going to happen unless there's a whole bunch of other factors in there to motivate me, right? Does that make sense? And even when you talk with psychologists and they talk about a person's top regret at the end of their life, it's that they didn't live according to their truest inner values. Too often people live and they make choices to make others happy because their parents want them to do it, because you're supposed to live in this societal norm and society expects this of you. Not me, man. I was so glad I learned this and identify what's truly important to me and say, you know what, I'm going to live according to what's important to me and what I love, regardless of what anyone thinks. And that's why I created a career where I can make money and get paid and make a living doing what I value the most. So does that make sense? So that's what, in my book, the very first section of my book is it's an exercise, 13 questions that help you determine what your values are. And once you determine your values, then you go into this step. It's like, if you don't value health, which a lot of people don't until they lose it. The one thing that health is the one value that everyone has inside them, but for so many, it doesn't come out until they lose their health. You know what I mean? It's like someone, they eat terrible, don't exercise, don't whatever. I don't have time to work out, I don't have time to make healthy meals. But then they get sick and they'll spend hours, weeks, days getting medical treatments. All of a sudden they find time and they find the money and they find the motivation because their health is almost about to take their life away. And then all of a sudden that can trigger where health becomes value. Or I've met people where someone they love gets sick and dies, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's a wake-up call. It's like, I don't want to go down that path, and it triggers a value towards health, and then this falls into place. All right, so I guess it's like, this is everything. This is so important. So I think it's really important to just sit down, figure out what's really, really, truly important to you, regardless of what anyone thinks. If health is one of them, you're going to stick to all this. This is a really good example I see with people all the time. So people who truly just health and fitness and being active is one of their values, like they can have a bone can be sticking out of one of their arms and they got a cast around it, and they'll come in and work out with one hand, right? And then on the flip side, if you don't truly value health, you'll find every damn reason in the book to make an excuse to quit, right? So if you don't truly value health and getting here, you're going to have a sprained pinky, a little sore wrist, you're a little bit tired, you find so many excuses that nothing will work because it's just not important to you. So the whole moral of this video is, it's this. If you have a hard time determining what your true values are, do the value determination chapter. It's freaking amazing. It's really important for the high school, college person. It's like, gosh, what do I really want to do in life? I don't know what to go to school for. I don't know. figure out what your true values are. And once you figure out your true values, then it's like, okay, well, what should I do where I can live in line with this and have a good living? This is also why there's so many people with loads of money that are so miserable. They have tons of money, but the job, career, whatever they're doing isn't aligned with what they truly value, so they're freaking miserable. And then on the flip side, you have people with a very modest income who love what they do because it's in line with what they truly value, so they're happy and they have really great lives, right? It's like, this is everything. Like, once you understand this, it's freaking everything, and it makes all of this fall into place.